Test one, two, test one, two, test one, two, test one, two. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. We are here, day number 11 for our 11 profile. Let's hold for 30 seconds and then we're going in. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. Thank you for being here. Hello, Love Blake. Nice to see you. We warmed up today. Yes, we went up to like 35. Thank God. The snow is still on the ground, but at least we're warming up. I have a really good profile today. Tonight, I am coming through to talk to you about the Underground Railroad. There's been some discoveries like earlier this week here in New York City. Let me go ahead and start. All right. So, the Underground Railroad was a clandestine network of secret routes, safe houses, and activists that assisted enslaved African Americans in their escape to free states and Canada during the 19th century. Despite its name, it was neither literally underground nor a physical railroad. Rather, it was a social movement that used railway metaphors to maintain secrecy. The key terminology. The network used specific railroad codes to communicate without alerting authorities or slave catchers. The conductor. The conductors were guides who led escapees between locations, for example, Harriet Tubman. The stations or the depots. They were the safe hiding places like private homes, barns, or churches. The station masters were the individuals who hid and provided resources to escapees at their properties. The passenger or the cargo were the freedom seekers escaping bondage. The stockholders were the financial donors who provided money for clothes, food, and travel. Notable figures and organizations. While the movement was a diverse interracial coalition, free black communities were central to its success. Harriet Tubman, known as Moses, she successfully escaped to Philadelphia and returned to Maryland at least 13 times to rescue families and others. They say she rescued about like 75 people. She in her trips going back, she was able to bring back 75 people. William Still, often called the father of the Underground Railroad, he kept meticulous records of hundreds of escapees in Philadelphia, which is good because that way they can keep track and see, and some of those records are on display in museums in current day. Well, if that administration didn't get to them, right? Levi Coffin, a Quaker abolitionist whose home in Indiana was a major station that helped over 3,000 people. Drop a bomb on that. Wow. Wow. And he was a Quaker. See, my view on the Quakers was not very good looking. Vigilance committees were groups in cities like New York and Philadelphia that openly advocated for abolition while secretly funding and protecting escapees. All right, geography and impact. The primary routes. Most routes led north towards Canada, where slavery was abolished in 1834. Other paths led south to Mexico, Spanish Florida, or the Caribbean. The scale. It is estimated of the scale estimates of those who escaped vary widely from 25,000 to over 100,000 people between 1810 and 1865. Wow. That's like the size of towns. The legal conflict. The movement directly challenged federal law, particularly the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, which mandated the return of escapees even from free states. Now let's talk a little bit about the modern preservation of the movement. Today, the National Park Service Network to Freedom verifies and preserves over 800 sites associated with the network across 40 states. Recent discoveries such as a secret hatch in a Manhattan home revealed in February 2026 continue to uncover the movement's physical legacy. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what? I hang out in the city. Well, especially during my single time, and I've been up and down every street, especially Manhattan. Like I, used to just walk for the fun of it. And so on 4th Street, I used to go by this brownstone. This was just full of brownstones, nothing in particular. They discovered this week, Love Blake. They discovered this week that brownstone that I used to go by. First of all, I didn't know it was a museum, but it actually was a station. Oh yes, a station. And I have the video to show you guys. So let's go ahead and watch this. By the way, the woman who's doing the reporting, she is a very respectable anchor host here for New York One News. She's been with the station for like 25 years. She is very trustworthy, delivers the news every evening on Channel 1. All right, so let's go ahead.
This dresser in an 1800s home has just been discovered to be a secret stop on the Underground Railroad.
My goodness. And this was the path to freedom for so many who escaped slavery in the South.
What we've learned is that Joseph Brewster, who designed this house and was clearly responsible for this secret passageway, he not only designed this one, but when he was the head of the board of trustees at his church, they built another one down on Rivington Street.
And then going down 2 stories by a ladder in an area that's 2 by 2.
So what they did was they carried candles, and you will see wax drippings here as well as various places as you traverse the pathway.
And voila, you would never know. Incredible.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did learn somewhat about the Underground Railroad in school. I never really knew that New York City was part of it, that there was like part of the network. I mean, I definitely knew that there was not a real railroad. And I understood the concept of like the houses and just going from house to house, that type of thing. But I did not know that they were actual, like New York City, like Manhattan, like literally this is 4th Street. That down there is all NYU buildings and school and dormitories and a couple of theaters and lots of bars and stuff like that. This is a brownstone that is it's been preserved as a museum now. And this hatch was just discovered now, like this February 2026. Drop a bomb on that. Meanwhile, this house has been preserved all this time as a museum. Just they were like the way that they were featuring the houses. It was a period house, so you can go like from room to room, and it, like everything they try to preserve as much as possible. Obviously, everything is not intact from before, but not everything anyway. So, but they just recently discovered this pathway. And discovered that whole entrance with that wardrobe piece. I thought it was fascinating. It makes me want to go take a walk down there and see. They are giving tours. Maybe, I'm not promising, but maybe I'm going to go and I'll bring the phone along and record if possible. I thought it was just fascinating that, like, we're so close to that. Like, the history literally is all around us. And unfortunately, they say that history repeats itself. Okay? Have you taken a look at the newspaper lately? you know? But yeah, I wanted to share that because they literally just uncovered that this week. Like, today's Tuesday, like they uncovered it. Maybe I think it was like Sunday or Monday, actually, yesterday. And then they did the article. So that is just a little bit, 25 cents on the Underground Railroad and the concept of it. So visualize a whole bunch of underground tunnels that lead, out, and then, like, once you're out of the tunnel for a particular point, like you could stay at somebody's house in the attic, the basement, or like here, the tunnel actually led to somebody's house, and then they will go back into the tunnels and hide in case people, were looking for them, or houses were getting swatted. Well, the equivalent of getting swatted back then, because they were trying to find these slaves. There was like laws in place that if you bought a slave, even if they ran to a free state, you could technically go back and grab him back and bring him back to the states that still were having slaves. It's just horrible. But there is your American history. Okay, there's the American history that they're so proud about, destroying families and people. But like I said before, I've said it before and I say it again, Black people have always persevered. Black people have endured and will always rise. In the words of Dr. Maya Angelou, still I rise. Drop a bomb on that. Still I rise. All right, so that is it for tonight's little capsule. Tomorrow we'll be back for our 12th profile. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that notification, so that you know when I come through. I was a little later tonight because I wanted to put the video in there, and the software was being a little finicky. But so we'll be doing a profile for the entire month, and maybe I'll keep it going. Who knows? Thank you for being here. Stay warm, and I will see you guys tomorrow for profile number 12. All right, have a good night. Peace.